Good morning and welcome to Our Issues Milwaukee. I'm your host, Andrea Williams. Our focus this morning is on bullying. There are many types of bullying to be aware of: cyberbullying, social bullies, verbal bullying, physical bullying, and even bullying within the workplace. If it all sounds overwhelming to you, imagine how young people that deal with it on a daily basis must feel. My first guest represents an organization that's mission is to educate our children and communities concerning the importance of the love, acceptance, and cooperation needed to reduce the bullying epidemic. James Dean, he is a speaker and executive assistant for Generations Against Bullying. How are you, James?
I'm very good. Thank you, Andrea.
Always good to see you.
Thank you.
Welcome back to the show.
Thank you.
And we have to have you come back because this bullying thing is not going away, and it is a subject that, in my opinion, needs to be talked about. So for people who are not familiar, tell us more about Generations Against Bullying and what it is you guys do.
Sure. Generations Against Bullying is a very unique anti-bully organization. You'll not find another organization in the country like ours because we're hands-on, and I'll get to that in a minute. We started because of 2 bomb threats in 2 consecutive years at a local high school as a direct result of bullying. So the research we did, we found that there's a mountain of great information out there about bullying, organizations that have programs, but the problem continues to get worse. The American Medical Association and the American Psychological Association have deemed bullying a national epidemic. And it's coming right off the pages of our local newspaper of the problems that are associated with bullying. A key one is bullycide, and that's a recent episode that occurred here in the Milwaukee area. But bullycide, or suicide as a direct result of bullying, is now one of the leading causes of death in our middle school age kids. So not only is the problem getting worse, but we're losing our children because of bullying.
Yeah, it's heartbreaking, and there is a statistic that revealed that if a child sees bullying and intervenes in a non-threatening way, the bullying stops in less than 10 seconds, 85% of the time.
Yes.
So what you guys have done is pretty much taken that information and built upon it to really give other kids the knowledge of knowing when to step in.
You're right. That statistic that the bullying will stop within 10 seconds if a bystander or somebody watching it becomes an upstander in a non-threatening way.
Yeah.
It stops in 10 seconds 85% of the time. So a lot of people are seeing the problem and they're pointing the fingers at administrators and schools and teachers and saying, you know, what are you going to do about it? But the teachers, the administrators, the parents, the counselors, they don't see the bullying. Who sees the bullying? The student population. So if they're seeing the bullying, and we know that it'll stop within 10 seconds most of the time if somebody becomes an upstander, our whole program is designed at creating upstanders in the student population and giving them the courage to say, hey, I'm willing to step up, because there's not one student that you'll interview anywhere that likes to see bullying. Not one. But they're afraid because they don't know what to do. And that's what our program is all centered on, is creating upstanders and helping them with, as you said at the beginning, the love, the acceptance of your fellow human being, that you want to do something to stop something that's so negative and nasty.
Yeah, and we've talked about this, how bullying is an age-old thing. You know, many of us will remember that one bully that stood out. You remember their name, you remember the things that they did, and it's one of those things that just kind of stays with you even as an adult. Some people affect it more than others, but things have changed from the time when you and I were growing up, and you know, you had the bully throw the rock or tell people not to talk to you or whatever the case was. You've got social media, you've got texting, you've got all these other things that really do make it worse. And with social media, you're talking about being able to harass one person in front of maybe hundreds, sometimes thousands.
Yeah, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
Yeah.
It used to be in my day that when you got away from school where the bullying was occurring, it went away. You didn't have to it wasn't part of your life anymore. And now with the social media and as you said, the texting and the cell phones and everything else, it's 24/7, 365 days a year. But our Upstander program, we've proven it even works with cyberbullying. We had one of our peer ambassadors, that's what we call our Upstander program in the schools. We were going to get a training with them through MPS. And on the way, he had some very nasty tweets from a bully that had been bullying him since 4th grade, and he was a freshman. And what he did was he showed it to his 2 friends that were sitting next to him, and they got on their cell phones and texted the kid back and said, hey, knock it off, I've got so-and-so's back. And the bullying stopped. We asked, did you see any more texts from that boy that day? No. So the big thing that goes along with our Upstander program as well is the hope that it gives. Many times, as you say, you can go to many audiences and ask if they've seen bullying, raise their hand, close their eyes, raise their hand if they've ever been bullied. At least 60% of the audience is going to raise their hand. That shows you how big of a problem it is. And as you said, I had a 70-year-old man come up to me at one of our presentations, and he said, yeah, I was bullied. I said, do you remember who bullied you? Yeah. He gave me his name. I said, what grade were you bullied in? 3rd grade?
Wow.
Now, I'm a retired guy. I remember the kid who bullied me. His name was Jerome. I'll just use his first name. It was in 1st grade. And back then, one of the things, we didn't have cell phones and that, but back then, one of the things that I did, I got so fed up, I socked Jerome in the stomach as hard as I could, and the bullying stopped. Yeah. So I became an upstander for myself. So we also say, you know, you need to help, if you can, help yourself by being an upstander, not in a threatening way like I did, but teaching them how to use humor, how to put it back toward the bully. And believe it or not, we love the bully too, because there's things going on in their lives.
There's underlying issues on that end, yeah.
And we would love to talk with them and work with them as well.
Wow, all interesting things indeed. So we've talked about, you did mention that there was a situation that happened right here in the Milwaukee area recently where you had a 14-year-old boy who committed suicide just in middle school. And it really is a reminder of how serious this problem is because this child reportedly dealt with racial slurs, physical abuse in some ways. You know, they assaulted him, and he was even stabbed with a pencil. So, you know, this was going on, and for a child, they're really not built to deal with certain levels of stress and all these different types of emotions that come along with knowing somebody's going to pick on you as soon as they see you. So it's devastating when a young person chooses to take their own life because of what someone else is doing to them. So we're going to have a psychotherapist come on next segment to help, you know, those parents who are watching at home be able to recognize some of the warning signs. But Generations Against Bullying, did you guys actually touch base with this middle school? It was in Glendale, and get involved because they really are taking a different approach on how they deal with this whole subject. Yeah,
we're glad they are taking an approach, and hopefully sometime in the near future we hopefully will be involved or get asked to be involved in that situation, because we're not there to point fingers. We're there. Some schools have their own anti-bully programs going on. Our program is there to act as a resource to help strengthen that program. And you know, when you take a look at these kids that kill themselves, that take their lives, a lot of shame goes along with that. They're shameful that something's wrong with them too, that's why they're getting picked on, and they don't tell anybody. Many times the parents are the last to know, and that's the shocking thing. But that's very normal and real for that to have happen. And so it's a very nasty situation, and our program is a positive solution to that nasty situation by telling the kids, you have the power. You're seeing the bullying. You need to stand up and do something, anything, to just get involved and say, that's not what our school's about. That's not what our football team's about. That's not what our POM squad's about. I mean, you can go to any school and you'll see a motto on the wall. And many times when we go to make a presentation to the school, we'll incorporate that motto because it's a very positive motto with positive words and incentive for kids that this is what our school's about. And so we try and reinforce that at each individual school that we get into to talk to. So we haven't been approached yet. You know, the fire is still hot there.
Yeah.
Things need to settle down a little bit. Everybody needs to stop pointing fingers at everybody else, and we need to have a community conversation about what's going on.
Yeah.
One of the things we offer for a community for that is a movie night. We have a 54-minute movie about bullying that will knock your socks off. You will hear a pin drop at the end of the night at that movie. That's a movie that schools can bring in or organizations can bring in, whether it's the PTO or a local organization in a municipality or a school system, and offer that for any of them. It takes parents, it takes businesses, it takes the school, it takes churches, it takes everybody to get involved in this problem and point out that there are solutions to this. We need to talk about them. And that's what this movie does.
Yeah, and that is why we have you here today. So not only are we going to be joined by a psychotherapist, we're also going to be joined next segment by a parent who understands what it's like to lose a child who was bullied and made the decision to take his own life. So I don't think anybody can give us a better perspective than a parent who's lived it. So I am definitely looking forward to having him share his story to help other people avoid everything that he's gone through. It's a very,
I'm sorry, but it's devastating.
Yeah.
And you know, it takes a while for a parent that has lost a child to even come through that.
Oh yeah.
To come through the other side of that darkness and then become an upstander, not only for himself and his family, but for the problem that's going on.
Yeah, you use individuals who have personal stories that they want to share to help get a message across. You also have celebrities, like for instance, you have former Green Bay Packer Leroy Butler and William Henderson, both also Super Bowl champs, who actually team up with you guys to help get the message across as well, right?
Yeah, we do. From time to time, we like to have a fundraiser, hopefully to help bring funds in to continue our message and to continue our programs into schools, because sometimes schools can't afford to have to add more money to their budget already. So they, these are celebrities who have been bullied themselves and are more than willing to help step up and get that message out about how important it is to be an upstander.
Wow, I can't imagine somebody bullying William Henderson. That's a big guy, but it happens.
And Reggie White was the upstander for William as well.
Wow.
But yeah, you know, you look at that at a football player that is as big as William. But he wasn't that big. He was pretty big when he was small. But look, any kind of a difference that somebody has makes them a target. Doesn't matter if you have big ears, a big nose, if you're tall, if you're even popular. You know, some of the popular girls in school or the popular guys, because they're popular, they get picked on for some different reasons. It's all over the map with bullying. It just doesn't happen to you know, shy kids, but the shy kids are a target as well.
Yeah, it can happen to anyone, and that is definitely a situation. So wanted to quickly mention, you guys have Star Wars Bowling Day with the Stormtroopers on Saturday, December 23rd, just in time for the holidays, from 11:30 a.m. to 3 p.m., and that is at Pinstrikes Bowling Alley in Glendale. So I'm guessing they can go to your website to get more information on that?
They can do that. That's exactly right. And we'd love to have them come out. It's going to be a fun day. It'll be an exciting day, and everybody, it's for the whole family, and it will be a good time. All
right. Well, thank you, as always, for stopping by and sharing such an important message.
Thank you so much, Andrea.
It's
we
a
appreciate
pleasure.
it.
James Dean is an executive assistant and speaker for Generations Against Bullying. For more information on anything that we've discussed, you can visit their website at gabnow.org or call 414-241-2465. When we return to Our Issues Milwaukee, we'll continue our conversation about bullying and hone in on the extremely serious issue of bullycide. We'll be joined by a psychotherapist and a parent who sadly lost his son to bullycide. We'll be back right after this.